Oh, the state of California.
Always got their eyes on you, Will. Welcome to the That's Good Broncos podcast. I'm Brandon Perna here with Will Keys. We talk about the Denver Broncos every week on YouTube. That's Good Broncos on podcast places, whatever the fuck those are. So you can listen. We also talk about NFL news. We are in July. We are struggling to know what to talk about. Some stuff did happen with the Broncos this week. The ownership situation, kind of starting to take shape.
Crystallizing.
Legendary coach Alex Gibbs passed away. I wanted to talk about him because he's one of the most important Bronco figures, I feel like, in team history that maybe only the hardcore fans know who he is. Patrick Surtain dropped a vlog on YouTube, so I want everybody to get at Patrick Surtain and his mentions on Twitter and tell him to collab with me. Get at him. What?
Surtain.
Patrick Surtain. God,
you have to say it right, or else you won't collaborate.
You know, well then I think spelling needs to change. Surtan.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think all spelling should be phonetic.
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins got beat up by his wife. We've got updates on Richard Sherman, and we'll talk a little bit about Peyton Manning at the All-Star game, probably Aaron Rodgers, as we do every week. Today's episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Again, you use code DNVR when you sign up there, and benchwarmerbrew.com. My coffee company. We got 3 blends now. The armchair blend, which is urinating tree. The 5 points blend, which is 5 points. Real creative name there, Adam. Real creative name there, Adam. And of course, my blend, the backup blend. So make sure you check that out. All right, Will, where do you want to start?
Let's start with Peyton Manning. How about that?
All right, let's start a little Pepe, a little Pepe Pepe.
Yeah, he was kind of for football fans, he was sort of the main attraction at the All-Star game at Coors Field.
Yeah, it was at Coors Field
on Monday, and then the All-Star game itself on Tuesday. How much of the week or the festivities or the break did you watch?
None. Almost none.
Not even the Derby?
I watched a tiny bit of Home Run Derby. I watched That's it. Because this week sucked. I was supposed to catch up, but baby got sick again with an ear infection with this bullshit called croup, which is just like a cough and lung infection virus, and top teeth started coming in. So she couldn't go into daycare. So Jess and I were just trying to keep it together for the week. And honestly, I think I was sleeping the last 3 or 4 nights. By 9 o'clock, I was asleep. Like, that's just the way it's been. And Jess and I both definitely, I think the croup shit is, like, you get that when you're a kid. So you should have an immunity to it. But we've definitely got some symptoms that we've been fighting off additionally. Like nothing bad, nothing to complain about, but just a little extra difficulty to the week. And I had to get, 2 videos up, but so I didn't watch any All-Star baseball.
Yes.
After not watching any baseball all year, I would have loved to have went to Coors Field for the Home Run Derby or the All-Star, probably the Home Run Derby. I think that's
definitely the Derby. I don't care about the game. I don't think most people do.
What I really realized after Stephen A. Smith talked about having an interpreter not being good for baseball.
Yeah.
I want to be an interpreter for a pro athlete. Like, that job seems sweet. I'm sure you make pretty good money. You get to go to a sporting event, all of them. And then you got, 10, 15 minutes of work where you translate shit at the end of the game. And as I recommended, Stephen A. Smith should have an interpreter, because if you say something offensive, you've got somebody to blame, right? Blame your fucking interpreter.
Kind of genius. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Are there any Are there any NFL players that need an interpreter? I think most, if not all, NFL players have a firm grasp of the English language.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to write I think I cut the joke because I had the only sports person that I really believe needs an interpreter is Ed
Oh, Ed
Orgeron.
Orgeron? Yeah, I think
Orgeron. Because
that's
sometimes I don't know what the
spot
fuck he's
on.
saying.
Yeah, he speaks Cajun. He doesn't speak American English.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely an interpreter situation there. Um, I want like the furthest thing away from Ed Orgeron. I want like posh British kind of interpretation.
Doing him?
For
Yeah.
what he has to say. Yeah. Yes, hold that tiger.
Oh, tickety
That's
boo.
yeah. I think that'd be a great job. You have to spend a lot of time with Ed Orgeron, which it honestly sounds pretty fun. He's a good coach. LSU is a good program. But Peyton Manning, getting back to Peyton Manning, he threw out the first pitch, and we've talked about first pitches here.
We have.
You either want to throw like a rocket, like a beautiful strike, or you want to just whiff completely. And so my theory on this one is he tried to do the perfect first pitch and maybe tried a little too hard, and
Yeah.
that caused him to miss. And that's okay
He one hopped
because
it.
you don't want Peyton Manning throwing a lollygagger. You either want him hitting dirt or you want him throwing a George W. Bush 9/11 type pitch.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the result. Even
Yeah.
if Dave Damashek wants to make fun of him, like always, if the guys at the NFL want to have a laugh about it, no, still my quarterback.
Yeah, he definitely tried. And that was our whole point. Like, you go out there and you fucking throw the ball.
Just
You
rip
wind
it
up, you throw it. And whatever happens.
from the mound, too.
Yeah, you throw it from the mound. Sure, the pressure, there's a lot of pressure with that pitch. I heard him talking about it on the Fan yesterday. I was in the car at the rare time, the top of the hour, D-Mac's first take on it. They analyzed it deeply, but he brought up a point like that I thought was funny. He's like, I think Peyton had somebody that he had to help him work on doing this throw, and he was prepping for it, and he overthought it. And it doesn't seem like the guy's just going to go in this willy-nilly. He's going to try to make a real throw, and just fucking one-hopped it in there, which Eli made fun of Peyton for on Twitter. Eli's social media game, pretty strong, I think.
Yeah.
I thought he could have made fun of his brother a little harder, but either way.
Here's the thing with Eli, I think his social media presence, it matches his sense of humor in real life, where Tom Brady tries to be funny on social media, and it's like funnier than anything that he's actually said in an interview or, whatever. So it comes off as fake and disingenuous, which, we know he doesn't come up with the tweets and posts himself. I don't know if Eli Manning, maybe he does. I could see it.
I think like the Mannings grew up. That's three brothers growing up together. They're used to talking shit to each other all the time, right? They're used to zingers. You got to be quick on your toes with your insults. And I think they're just more natural at it. And Tom Brady doesn't seem like that guy.
Yeah, no brothers growing up for Brady.
No.
Sisters.
Yeah. I had one sister, and I treated her like a younger brother. So
you don't get better at roasting growing up with sisters.
No.
That's a skill that you have to develop with a male in the family, definitely. So, bad pitch. But like we said, it's better than a nothing pitch, like a mediocre pitch, a lollygagger. So that was part of it. He also kind of betrayed us.
Yep.
The spirit of this whole offseason.
He is
by
dead.
saying that he doesn't think Aaron Rodgers is going to leave Green Bay, and he doesn't necessarily want Aaron Rodgers to leave Green Bay. We know why he said this, right? Because he spent time in the offseason working with Drew Lock. You can't work with Drew Lock all offseason and then call for someone to take his job.
Yeah.
But
It either means you're a terrible mentor or
yeah.
you think your mentee is really bad and there's no hope for him.
Which, if you're a good mentor, then hopefully the mentee would be good enough to,
Exactly.
occupy one of the 32 quarterback spots in the NFL.
You would think so. So you got Manning saying he doesn't think Aaron Rodgers is leaving Green Bay. You got AJ Hawk also saying he spent the last week with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't think he's leaving Green Bay. Neither one. I mean, Manning hasn't talked to him. AJ Green spent the week with him, but he says he doesn't get the feeling he's leaving. He didn't say he's definitely not leaving. I think hope is dying every day that something doesn't happen if you're a Broncos fan. That said, again, we'll stick by our premise that Aaron Rodgers is a wild card. He is.
I think Aaron Carter's like
Aaron Carter.
He's going through Richard Sherman type stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we get Manning throwing at the first pitch. You have him talking about the Aaron Rodgers situation, which kind of, in our minds, kind of a betrayal. But then he flips it on its side and says that he's not, well, he didn't say this, but he didn't rule out joining the Broncos in some kind of leadership position, which he didn't say he would join them. He just didn't rule it out. And at that point, that's a victory to me. I think this has to do with the ownership situation. And he probably doesn't want to join or, take on any kind of responsibilities until that situation's settled. And we're closer to that being the case.
Yep.
So we could see Peyton Manning in some kind of official executive front office kind of job, the next couple of years, maybe.
Well,
I think that's what we've all been waiting for, right?
Yeah. So the ownership thing, the lawsuit was dismissed. So Beth and the other older daughter, forgive me, I can't remember all their names.
Annabelle.
Is it Annabelle? Beth and Annabelle?
Brittany?
No, Brittany's the youngest. It's Brittany, bitch. She's the youngest, Will.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they
dismissed the lawsuit. So they're not trying to sue the trust anymore, which is step 2 or 3 at this point in terms of this means a couple things, possibly. Either the children have all reached an agreement with the trust.
Yes.
And they will move forward with Brittany as the owner, or they reach an agreement to sell the team. They'll all make a shit ton of money, and the Broncos will have a new owner at some point. I think we're hoping for a new owner, somebody that comes in and has a fuck ton of money, doesn't care about losing some money to make a good team. We put in our request for Steve Ballmer, and then one day later he started molesting people who watch basketball games with him.
Maybe hours later.
Yeah, maybe it was hours later.
Right after it was posted.
Stick by Ballmer. Ballmer.
Really
Ballmer in your Ballmer, baby.
Yeah.
So something's going to happen with the Broncos. People still think could be Manning in a financial group backing them to purchase it. Maybe that's what Manning's alluding to. Because I don't think he can't come in and be a GM. Like, we already got George Payton.
Yeah.
5 years. It seems like he's secure. Maybe he's like George Payton's vice president of some bullshit title where Manning can do work, but seems like he might be involved with them depending on where the ownership situation goes. So we just got to wait and see.
Yeah. I kind of want him in a big picture role because, it's not the minutia of player management where Denver's really been failing the last few years. It's the big picture stuff like stadium naming rights and kind of the the bigger stuff like the NFL is going to make us play without a quarterback against the Saints kind of thing.
Yeah.
You want someone like Peyton Manning who is recognizable and diplomatic and knows what he's doing. You would imagine in that kind of role, and it just lends the Broncos a little bit more respect and credibility than they've had since even going back to like 2010. I think the ownership and just kind of like the team at large has been kind of flailing around a little bit. And then you get Peyton Manning, and then things are good for a few years.
It happened. I mean, we're hopefully getting to the end, but basically after the Cutler trade, there's just this lull of years where everything sucked. Didn't matter, what the team did. They just couldn't win, and nobody gave a shit. And then things got crazy with Tebow, and then Broncos got Manning. So hopefully the Broncos are close to that. Hopefully it's either Drew Lock is awesome this year, they get Aaron Rodgers, or I saw on Broncos Reddit today, it was just another post about Deshaun Watson, Jeremy Fowler.
Great.
Who is Jeremy Fowler?
From ESPN?
Yeah, he works at ESPN, but like every time there's like some rumor about a quarterback and the source is ESPN, I feel like it's coming from Jeremy Fowler. And I'm starting to think that he's not on point.
Yeah, I mean, these are all still rumors, like despite them coming from ESPN.
Yeah.
So I think we need to stop lending, ESPN more credibility than they deserve.
Yeah, he was like, I think that the quote was like, don't sleep on Denver in the Deshaun Watson trade because Watson's been intrigued by the Broncos. Like, yeah. We all know that that's a possibility, but has something changed in Deshaun Watson's legal situation? Like, I highly doubt that George Payton is going to trade for a quarterback who is being sued by 22 women for varying degrees of sexual misconduct all the way up to sexual assault. Like, maybe the price is right now because of that, but
conditional 7, maybe.
Yeah, I just don't think that's on George Payton's at the forefront of his things to do right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the radar right now.
And I saw a similar thing. I forget who tweeted it, some sports network, but it was Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos. And it was like using an Adam Schefter quote from months ago, but they fucking just put it up like this week.
Like it was new.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the same thing. That might have been what Schefter said on draft day. So, look, if there's something substantial, if there's a nugget, it will be on my YouTube channel. But right now, like, there's nothing.
Yeah, we need to put a moratorium on Watson/Rodgers news until it's actually news.
Yeah. When there's a slightly new development, other things, I'll talk about it. But
yeah, I will accept quotes from the players themselves.
Yeah.
Like if Rodgers has something to say, like he did at the golf tournament, I'm listening.
Exactly.
Otherwise, if it's AJ Hawk or Adam Schefter from 10 years ago, not interesting. I don't care. I've checked out. I don't have any more, bandwidth for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know why like actual sports networks are doing that.
Yeah, at this point, like that, we are in the dead period, but following the dead period, soon to come is training camp, followed by the preseason, less than a month away. I think we're something like 3 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game. Once we actually snap a football.
Wow.
And the clock starts running.
Yep.
No one's going to care about rumors and innuendo and, old tweets or anything like that. We'll be back to football. and then it will filter out all but the most pressing news.
Yeah. I will give you the most important date that you need right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is 7/27/2021. That is when Packers training camp starts.
Yes.
Rookie training camp starts a week before, but Packers report date for training camp is 7/27/21. So if Aaron Rodgers shows up that day, Broncos fans can go find a giant rock and step on it really hard. Step on that rock.
Stub your toe with it.
Because you're going to want to feel something other than the despair of knowing the dream of Aaron Rodgers is dead until at least this next offseason. So, yeah, if he shows up, then it's over. Okay. Alex Gibbs. He passed away this week. Alex Gibbs was the Broncos offensive line coach when they won those first couple Super Bowls. Now, there's some debate on whether or not he invented the zone run scheme that he did. I don't care who invented it. He probably didn't invent it, but Alex Gibbs perfected running that shit in the NFL. And I think people just need to know, without him and the Broncos offensive line, which was good, and Terrell Davis, like that combo it's like a perfect drink, man. It just fucking worked. It's why TD got 2,000 rushing yards. There's an old video. I've got like all these VHS tapes of like Broncos football things, and there's a whole segment about Gibbs in one of those, and just him like teaching the zone and the cutback blocks and how it worked. And it's why, like, after TD left, the Broncos were able to just filter in running backs and they were all successful. I know like Mike Shanahan gets all the credit for the offense always having great running backs, but it's really Alex Gibbs coaching the line to just make gaping holes for those backs. So really important Bronco in Broncos history. He passed away. That is my tribute. I pay tribute.
Yeah. Passed away at 80. Spent most of his time, his most notable years were in Denver, but coached for other teams too. I mean, he's just like, he goes down, I think, as, you got Bill Walsh with the West Coast offense. You got, Air Coryell. You got all these architects of offense. He's like really one of the main architects of the running game, like even going back to someone like Vince Lombardi with the sweep. Like he totally changed the way you run the ball in the NFL. Like watch a game from the 70s or the 80s and see how they do it. Like it's the most like primitive kind of blocking schemes and the most vanilla run plays. And you got running backs lining up like split backs and in the 3-point stance, and it's just grating and hard to watch. And it just made the run game like beautiful to watch, aesthetically just pleasing to the eye and super effective. And he's kind of part of the reason that running backs are so devalued today, which is, depending on how you feel about that. But he was like the mastermind behind, a lot of the stuff that people attributed to Mike Shanahan too. So he deserves credit in that regard.
Well put, Will. It was, I would kill just to have a dominant run game like that again. Just made things easier when you knew you could just hand it off to TD or Mike Anderson or Clinton Portis and get a first down.
Landis Perry.
Yeah.
Tatum Bell.
Mike Bell.
Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
We could just do this for hours. Just name every running back that was good behind that offensive line.
Yeah, it was like the consistent thing after Elway left you could rely on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Broncos corner Patrick Surtain dropped a vlog on YouTube. It's mostly him working out a ton.
Nice.
But the nugget is he at the end of the video looking for a Crocs sponsorship. He was rocking some tie-dye Crocs, asking Crocs for a sponsorship. And I actually think he has a good chance because Crocs is a Colorado company. So Crocs, if you're listening, Patrick Surtain will take a sponsorship, as will my wife, who recently just bought some Crocs sandals, and she has been wearing them every day. They don't look like the regular Crocs. They look far more stylish. I'm not a Crocs man. I've never worn Crocs. I'm not an open-toed shoe guy. I don't even like flip-flops.
Yeah.
I just find them uncomfortable. But Patrick Surtain, give his channel a follow. Make sure you tell him That's Good Sports sent you. I would love to go do defensive back training with Patrick Surtain just one day for the vlog. And then we could collab. I could post part of it on my channel, and then he could post it. Like the DB drills, like I want to do some of that.
Yeah, like there's that Kevin Byard video where he was doing DB drills with a fan.
Yeah.
So why not? Yeah, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Let's just
Patrick.
Let's just keep the ball rolling. Come on, Pat.
I want your dad to show up, and because his dad's got to be what?
Probably like late 40s.
Yeah,
mid 40s.
So Patrick's in his 20s. I'm in my getting to my late 30s. His dad's late 40s, maybe early 50s. So we've got 3 age groups to compare: 2 super athletes, 1 just regular
45.
guy, regular Joe Schmo. Mostly I just want to give some workout tips. I will say right now, DraftKings Sportsbook's not only my favorite sportsbook, but it's also America's top-rated sportsbook. Now, I love using DraftKings because it's easy to navigate, has plenty of instructions for new bettors, and nearly limitless ways to get in on all of the action. My friends and family, they love DraftKings Sportsbook, and I know you will too. So listen to this offer. DraftKings Sportsbook's putting you courtside with the chance to turn $1 into $150 in site credits. That's right. Pick either the Suns or the Bucks right now. Bet $1, and if that team wins, you win $150 in site credits. That series is tied, so either team could win. Don't forget, DraftKings Sportsbook also offers great odds and promotions on baseball, hockey, and so much more all week long. Is hockey still going? I don't think so. Maybe some sort of low-grade hockey.
There's always low-grade hockey going on.
There's got to be it somewhere. DraftKings is safe, secure, reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Would you say, Will, in the middle of my room?
There's a lot of low-grade hockey taking place in Canada at all times.
Use code DNVR when you sign up to turn $1 into $150 in free credits. Bet on the basketball team of your choice to win their next game. If they do, you will claim $150 in free credits. That's promo code DNVR for a limited time only. DraftKings Sportsbook. Got to be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Suck it. My lungs is still good.
Here's a basketball team you should not bet on. The United States of America.
Ooh.
We suck.
Got beat by Nigeria.
And Australia. Yeah. We really suck. I think, after the last 18 months or so, people don't really have a lot of pride in their country, and it's showing up on the basketball court.
You got to go out there and you got to play.
Also, is Devin Booker selfish for playing in the finals and not in the Olympics? Kind of makes you wonder. Same with Chris Paul.
Ooh.
What if we had Chris Paul and Devin Booker out there?
I don't even. When's the Olympic basketball start? Is that what's happening right now? That's what
I think it's like the pre-qualifiers maybe.
Does it matter if they win or lose right now?
That's a great question. I know the Olympics start next Friday. That's the opening ceremony. So yeah, I can't imagine the United States not qualifying for basketball. if that ever turned out to be true, I think we'd have to actually get the 1992 Dream Team together at their advanced stages and make them play one more time just to see if they're still good. Because these guys aren't interested. Or I think you go back to the old rules and go only college players.
That was fun.
Yeah. That was – see, here's the thing. Like you did the 92 whole experiment, the Dream Team, was just kind of to flex on the rest of the world and say, if we wanted to, this is what could happen. We could beat you by 50 points every game. Now we're going to go back to amateurs and make it fun again. That's
yeah, it's like they should do it every other Olympics. Go college and then go Dream Team. Then go college, then go Dream Team.
How much fun would it be if there were really like football in the Olympics, though? It would probably be dangerous.
This is the first year that skateboarding's in the Olympics, right?
I think so, yeah.
That is all I wanted when I was a kid. It was like because you had the X Games.
Right.
But like I started skateboarding like 1996. And they've been talking about the Olympic skateboarding becoming an Olympic event since then. It was like skateboarding's getting in this next round. And it never did. And I was like, I would maybe watch the fucking Olympics if skateboarding was in it. And now it will be in there. And I'm not paying too much attention. Maybe I'll watch it. I doubt it. When's it start? Like August?
Yeah, it starts the 23rd. So I don't know. I just like the idea of having sports on at weird times of the day. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I like, if you wake up at 6 a.m, usually here on the West Coast, there's nothing on. Like the earliest you can find sports is like football Sundays at 10.
What do you mean? There's about 6 hours of hot takes every morning, Will.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. There is Good Morning Football at 4 a.m. So I don't know what I'm talking about. In terms of like actual live sports, it's fun to just turn something on at like 5:30 a.m. and be like, oh, this is happening right now.
Yeah. So, I'm up at that time too. So
yeah, I bet you are.
I know when you get up every day.
Yeah, you do.
I see your little icon pop up on my script. Oh, Will's up.
Time to face the day.
I used to get pissed off at Wimbledon.
Oh yeah, fuck them.
That's in June-ish, right? And it used to fuck with my late night TV shows. They would like NBC would play Wimbledon. I was like, I want to watch Leno. I want to watch Leno, and this tennis is on. So then I would watch Letterman instead. I was young, so I didn't know Letterman was actually better than Leno at the time. I was loyal.
Yeah, and then Conan came along. And guess what? They're all gone now. Feel old yet? Now we have, Jimmy Kimmel and
Jimmy Fallon. Does anybody named Jimmy?
Jimmy Carter, Jimmy Crackcorn. Yeah, they're all late nights.
Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi should have a late night show on Fox.
I think he has to go by James.
And then FX should have Jim Brewer, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Brewer, Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Jim Belushi's like a big cannabis guy now.
Oh, yeah. I saw that picture of him and Dan Aykroyd just in front of Belushi's fucking grow house.
Yeah, really strange, really weird. Good for them, though, I guess.
Mr. Destiny, one of my favorite movies growing up, starring Jim Belushi.
I have not seen it. Maybe we'll put that on the watch list for next time.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where, like, if you could redo a certain moment in your life, what would the consequences be? Type thing.
I really like the premise, but I'm a little put off by the fact that they cast Jim Belushi. That's the only problem.
Hey, he's okay. He's okay. Somebody might not be okay. Terrible segue, but it's Richard Sherman. So yesterday was pretty fucking crazy for the news.
He had a
cycles.
crazy late night.
Yeah. Seriously, we hope Richard Sherman's okay. Hope he's doing all right. He had a bad 24 hours, it sounds like. Did a video on this, and it was one of those days where the news just kept changing, and at some point I had to stop because, again, we had the baby home yesterday, and my wife and I are trading off watching her, getting our work done because we both got to work. So I just had to stop, and I thought we were at a good stopping point. And of course, right after I upload, more stuff comes out. Basically, what happened with Richard Sherman, if you didn't catch the news, he was arrested. And at first, the headline was Richard Sherman arrested for burglary, domestic violence. So you're like, oh, fuck, this sounds horrible. It's not good, but like that was the headline. That's what he was booked for. Sounds like he didn't hurt anyone. He got drunk, was driving, it looks like, wrecked his car into a concrete barrier. Also a screwed up headline, like destruction. It's like destruction of state transportation property. So he hit the side concrete barrier.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to concrete.
Yeah, pulled his car off the road, ditched the car, went to his wife's family's home, so his in-laws. They misreported saying ex-wife. It's his current wife. This was like in the middle of the night. Apparently he drank a lot. He was
in Washington, right? This is in Washington.
Redmond, Washington. He was threatening to kill himself. He was, they said, possibly drank 2 bottles of something. So he was just out of his mind.
Yeah, I don't blame him for one. Like, I think 2 bottles of anything probably makes you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, like you're gonna do some dumb stuff, but it sounds like he didn't hurt his family members. That's the big thing. He's okay. He argued with the police, detained by them. Apparently a police dog was used to subdue Richard Sherman, I think is the headline there. And then he was taken to the hospital, checked out, and then booked in jail. Another headline was in jail, bail denied.
Yeah, which sounds just bad.
Their standard procedure for what they do when something's classified as domestic violence and burglary, and they classify it that because he was trying to get into somewhere, to a home that didn't belong to him. So it's like all of these things, they're like, the whole situation's bad, but it was very misleading through the news outlets yesterday. And now I think like the question is, it's like, where is Richard Sherman at health wise? I think like the concern I think I have is like, is this drinking problem a problem, or is this just like a one-time crazy thing that happened? Usually somebody who drinks that much and causes like a situation like that, it's not a one-time thing. It's
you don't go from like being a social drinker to like 2 bottles of like wild turkey in 4 hours.
So
I don't know how you could even, here's the thing, I don't know how you can drink that much and even speak words that are coherent.
I think being a super athlete helps. Like their bodies are different.
I guess so. This is like, it's like hard to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, if I have, so
you got hungover the other week from a couple glasses of whiskey.
Yeah, I had just it was our Patreon Zoom meeting. I had
shout out to those guys.
Shout out to Patreon Zoomers.
Yeah,
I woke up with a headache, and it was I know the exact amount of whiskey I can drink and feel perfect the next day. I call it 1.5 drinks, but when you're drinking whiskey, one drink is technically just a shot of it, right? Like that's how you measure. My one drink is like 2.5 shots of whiskey. So if I have one of those, I'm good. If I have 1.5, so it's probably 3 to 4 shots of whiskey that I just call 1.5 drinks, I'm fine. But if I have 2 big glasses of whiskey, I'm going to have that headache. I have any more of that shit, I am dead the next day. So when I hear people like drinking like a whole bottle of something, like I don't understand how you can do that. My body's never been able to handle that. It's a little disappointing because there's history of alcoholics in my family. I would have assumed I got better genes to handle it there, but like it's a bad problem though when this happens. Like calling the cops on a family member is not a good situation. I've never had to do that, but my sister has for my grandpa when his dementia was really bad. He was super old, but still super strong. And it was like very similar situation. Got to call the cops in the middle of the night. And when that happens, it's a bad fucking situation for your family. And we live in a time though, where people get this information more quickly than they have all the details to. And then you've got like everybody's like Rappaport, it's Schefter, it's everybody reporting this stuff. And so like I'm like, okay, I can talk about it, but like I should wait. I should fucking wait until I know everything, so I can make the right jokes, the appropriate jokes, and
that's the number one concern is you have to have the right jokes.
Yeah, and I mean right jokes. Like I don't want to make a joke that an hour after I upload it, I regret because I wasn't aware of something, and then it's not a joke anymore. It's just you taking a shot at somebody when they're down. You know what I mean? So again, like I like Richard Sherman. I think a lot of people don't because he's outspoken and his attitude, but I fucking love that. I've always liked the way he plays the game. I've been clamoring for somebody to sign him because I still think he's got some good football left in him. I think this hurts his chances to get back in the league this year quite a bit. But this is a long way of saying, like, I hope he's okay. I hope he gets the alcohol under control. And I don't mean to like minimize that when I say like, when I'm talking about how much I drink or that I come from a long line of alcoholics that I wish I had better alcohol. Like I get it. Like there's been some serious shit in my life because of this. Like my cousin that passed away this year was because of alcohol. Like I don't take it lightly. So I'm just trying to say, like, I really hope he's okay. I'm not like saying that just to try and sound like he's okay. Because like, that's the right thing to fucking do. You know what I mean? But it was a shitty situation that I wish yesterday I wouldn't have been in a rush to get my video up. I still think it's like mostly fine. Like I said in the video, let the shit come out. Let's figure out what actually happened before, we do whatever, make whatever jokes or, whatever. But like, there's like all the meme sites, like immediately after it happens, just the worst, like the lowest hanging fruit jokes. And shitty situation.
It's something about Michael Crabtree or whatever. Super funny, I remember the year 2014 as well.
Yeah, well, that my best joke was the Crabtree joke.
That's fair.
But it was the burglary. I was like, the only people I thought I was like, oh fuck, I don't even remember the joke, but it's just about burglarizing Crabtree. So it was him and Aqib Talib. I was like, only burglary I thought they committed was against Crabtree.
That's still okay. That's more recent. That's 2017.
Yeah.
No, that's called the 5-year statute of limitations.
Exactly.
I hope he's okay too. I wouldn't say I like him necessarily, but I think he's like he's been a very good villain for the NFL. Kind of the same way Trevor Bauer was before all that other stuff came out.
Oh, was that domestic violence shit too?
No, it was more like sexual violence. Probably best not to compare the two, honestly. But
yeah, because that's the thing. It sounds like
guys you don't like, but they're like they make things interesting and they give you someone to root against.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's what I like about Sherman. It's like
right, yeah.
He's gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like we should do a segment in the podcast where you come up with like NFL villains, and it's whether we like them or root against them, because you pull from one way or the other. And I can't explain like why I would root for Richard Sherman in the villain situation. Like I rooted against Aqib Talib until he became a Bronco, and then he's like one of my all-time favorite villains in the NFL.
Yeah,
but we definitely need a villain episode, I think. On-field villains.
Agreed.
Off-field villains, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then we can go to Dwayne Haskins and wrap this up.
Right.
So, okay. We had the Frank Clark updated episode earlier this week. I had a line in there where I said we're working on the script, and I like for the note was like, and he wasn't even a good domestic violence guy, like, and then I said like the perfect example. And I think like you put in Tyreek Hill ? Like where are you fucking going with this?
I wasn't sure.
I went with Emma Roberts and Stacey Dash as being good at domestic violence, like because it's a cute girl getting arrested for domestic violence was like where I was trying to take that joke.
Okay. Stacey Dash, that's interesting.
That's like I didn't even know. Like that's some shit you got to look up. It's like apparently they both been arrested for domestic violence.
Emma Roberts or Julia Roberts?
It was Emma.
Oh wow. I'll look into that after the show, but that's surprising.
I realized like I didn't point where I was like trying to go with that joke.
Yeah. There's some kind of like internal machination there that I was picking up on.
Who is perfect at who is a good domestic violence person?
Who's on the Mount Rushmore of domestic violence?
Do that one. Pardon my take.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck.
Anyway, Dwayne Haskins, his wife.
Yeah, his wife.
She was arrested for punching him.
Yeah, dislodging a tooth.
Ooh, that's a hard punch.
Knocked out a tooth. Yeah,
in Las Vegas.
Ooh, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say alcohol was involved in that situation as well.
I would imagine.
I would hope so. If not, then that's even worse. Honestly.
I keep forgetting Haskins plays for the Steelers.
Yeah, I picture him as a Washington football team guy still.
Oh, Dwayne Haskins, I appreciate the concern. However, I have all of my teeth on his Instagram. Don't believe everything you read. Peace.
How does that get out?
I don't know. That's a problem we have. Like, people get shit. Maybe he just chipped a tooth. Maybe it's one of those things where a little bit of his tooth broke, so he still has all of his teeth, but maybe not a part of a tooth. I don't know.
Interesting. So Emma Roberts beat up Evan Peters, the guy from Mayor of Easttown. Interesting.
Oh, which guy from Mayor of Easttown?
The younger detective.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, he was really good.
He is. Yeah.
I looked him up during that show because I was like, this dude's. I like the cut of his jib. I like the way he's acting this shit. Yeah, that show was really good, except for I thought the last episode. I thought I don't want to give anything away, but I thought they tried to get a little too. This is what you think's happening. No, this is what actually happened. No, this is what actually happened.
Yeah. There's a good interview that Ryan Russillo did with the creator of the series.
Oh.
But only listen to it if you've seen it. So
yeah, it's a solid show.
Yeah. So that was the Dwayne Haskins in that situation.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna
Dwayne-
assume that he has all his teeth still, though.
Yeah, Haskins taken to the hospital for a facial injury. Haskins said he remembered getting into a fight with his wife, but didn't remember getting punched in the mouth. In searching the room, officers found a piece of a tooth and blood. This is from ESPN.
Awesome.
Not funny. I don't know. I've never been punched by a woman, so
Have you ever been punched?
yeah, by one of my friends.
Okay.
Not really my friend so much after that, but
Yeah,
punched me in the face for no. We were playing basketball and he got mad at me, and then did this, and I thought like he was like joking because like who the fuck goes like this to throw a punch, and did one of these to my face, and then my other friend and I ran off into the prairie and we're like, what the fuck did he just do that for?
What a very Kansas kind of situation.
No, this was in Pueblo, but my parents were in Kansas looking for a home, and I was staying at my friend's house who punched me in the face. So I didn't punch him back because like I don't want to go back to his house if we get into a fight. And I just took it. Like
probably jealous. I'd imagine. I bet his parents were giving you more attention than him.
Yeah, no, he said something like, you're a punk ass bitch who thinks he's smarter than everybody or something. I was like, oh, where did this come from?
That is always how you have come off, as someone who thinks he's smarter than everybody.
Yeah. I mean, who knows where I was like at 11 or 12.
It's funny how I picture you at 11 and 12 with the same beard.
No, this face was shiny.
And it's taken a punch.
Yeah. I didn't even flinch on that shit.
You just took it. Didn't
bleed, didn't break skin.
Nice.
If somebody punched me now. I would fear for my health and safety.
Yeah, it might not be the best.
All right. We touch enough sensitive topics in the last half of the show yet?
Anything else we can talk about that's a real third rail?
Let's talk about doctor-assisted suicide before we get out of here.
Here's the thing about Jack Kevorkian.
Al Pacino played him.
Yeah.
Or was that Phil Spector? I can't fucking remember.
He did both.
Did he do both? All right.
Yeah, both HBO original movies. I've seen neither of them, but I just know that he did. Oh, and he played the Joe Paterno, the Penn State coach.
Oh, right? Shit.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it reminds me of like Kevin Bacon. He's played pedophiles in 2 different movies. And it's like, I think as an actor, you just do one.
Yeah.
You just do one, Kevin.
Yeah, it's like I was watching Manhunter the other night, and William Peterson was talking about how he's like an obsessed detective who in the movie, and he can't get out of the role after the movie wraps. I'm like, I really hope Kevin Bacon was able to get out of the role immediately. I hope he wasn't one of those guys who like has to act like the character on set the whole time, like a method act. Hope he wasn't just taking it too seriously.
Yeah, definitely not. I think our friends over at Game Day.
Put a stop to that.
What's that?
If you're his agent, you'd have to be like, no
more, Kevin. Quit saying yes to these roles, Kevin.
Yeah.
Especially when Kevin Spacey's out there and he's a real sexual predator.
Yeah, really.
Can't have any more Kevins in these situations. Anyway, we'll get out of here. All right. You listen to the fucking podcast. John Elway's ACL never hurt anybody.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night. Good luck.